Welcome back to the Data Guy Show. I'm Naz, your friendly neighborhood data skeptic, here with Mo, the guy who probably dreams in metadata schemas. Today we're diving into something that sounds about as thrilling as reading software license agreements, open source data governance frameworks. But Mo, you look way too excited about this.
That's because the stuff is actually fascinating, Naz. Think about it. Every time you search for a dataset at work, wonder where that number in the dashboard came from, or try to figure out if data is safe to use for AI, you're dealing with governance. These frameworks are like the GPS for your data universe.
Okay, I'll bite. But last time someone promised me a simple governance solution, I ended up with 3 different tools that couldn't talk to each other and a spreadsheet that somehow became our source of truth. Please tell me we've evolved beyond that nightmare.
Oh, we have. That's exactly why we are looking at 4 major players: OpenMetadata, DataHub, Apache Atlas, and Amundsen. Each one tackles this problem completely differently. It's like comparing a Swiss Army knife, a Formula One race car, a military-grade tank, and a really good bicycle.
Now that's an analogy I can work with. So which one's which? And more importantly, which one won't make me want to throw my laptop out the window?
Let's start with the elephant in the room. Why do we even need these frameworks? Remember that project where you spent 3 days trying to figure out if the customer data in the warehouse was the same as what was in the CRM?
Don't remind me. I swear I aged 5 years that week. Turns out there were like 7 different definitions of active customer floating around the company.
Exactly. That's the dark data problem. Without proper governance, organizations create these massive blind spots where nobody knows what data they have, where it comes from, or whether it's any good. These frameworks solve that by creating a centralized catalog where everything is discoverable and documented.
So it's like having a really good librarian for your data. I get it. But you mentioned 4 different approaches. Break that down for me.
Sure, Open Metadata is what I call the unified platform. It came out of Uber and tries to be everything you need in one clean package. Think of it as the Swiss Army knife, comprehensive but not overwhelming. They deliberately kept the architecture simple, using MySQL or PostgreSQL for storage and Elasticsearch for search.
Simple sounds good. What's the catch?
No real catch actually. It's designed for organizations that want comprehensive features without the operational headache. But if you need real-time streaming capabilities, that's where DataHub comes in. This is LinkedIn's baby, and it's the Formula One race car of the bunch.
LinkedIn built this? The same people who keep sending me connection requests from people I've never met?
The very same. But their engineering team is actually brilliant. DataHub uses Kafka streams for real-time metadata updates, which means when something changes in your data pipeline, the governance system knows about it instantly. It's perfect for data mesh architectures where you have teams owning their own data products.
That sounds powerful, but also complicated. Is this one of those enterprise-grade solutions that requires a PhD to operate?
It's definitely more complex to set up and maintain. Think event-driven architecture with multiple databases, graph stores, and streaming components. But if you need that real-time automation, like automatically flagging when data quality drops or lineage changes, it's unmatched.
And Apache Atlas? I'm guessing that's the tank?
Almost. Atlas is the battle-tested Hadoop native solution. If your organization has significant Hadoop investments, HDFS, Hive, HBase, all that, Atlas provides integration that the others simply can't match. It hooks directly into the Hadoop ecosystem and provides incredibly granular governance and security.
But what if you're not living in Hadoop land anymore? A lot of companies have moved to cloud platforms.
That's Atlas's challenge. It's incredibly powerful within its domain, but if you're cloud native or have diverse data sources, it can feel limiting. It's like having a tank when you need to navigate city streets.
And Amundsen is the bicycle?
Exactly. Amundsen came out of Lyft and focuses on data discovery with a Google-like search experience. It's lightweight, easy to deploy, and perfect for organizations that primarily need to help people find data quickly.
That actually sounds appealing. Sometimes simple is better. What's the downside?
Limited governance features and slower development pace. If all you need is discovery, it's great. But if you want comprehensive data quality monitoring, complex lineage tracking, or advanced governance workflows, you'll quickly outgrow it.
So we've got comprehensive but simple, real-time but complex, Hadoop native and simple but basic. How does someone actually choose between these without going insane?
For understanding your organization's context becomes crucial. Are you implementing data mesh? Go with DataHub. Heavy Hadoop investment? Atlas is your friend. Want comprehensive features without complexity? OpenMetadata.
Just need discovery? Start with Amundsen.
But what about the elephant in the room? Cost. I know these are free, but nothing's really free when you factor in implementation and maintenance.
You're absolutely right. The blog post has an interactive total cost of ownership analysis. But here's the quick version. OpenMetadata has the lowest operational overhead. DataHub requires significant infrastructure and expertise. Atlas needs Hadoop knowledge, and Amundsen is cheapest to start but might require migration later.
Speaking of migration, I've heard horror stories about switching governance platforms. Please tell me there's a way to avoid vendor lock-in, even with open source tools.
That's actually one of the beauty points of open source. You can see exactly how your metadata is stored and exported. But you're right to be concerned about switching costs. The key is starting with a clear data model and ensuring whatever you choose can export lineage and metadata in standard formats.
Now, you mentioned AI governance earlier. I know everyone's talking about AI, but is this actually relevant for data governance, or is it just buzzword bingo?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. AI systems are only as good as the data that feeds them. These frameworks are evolving from human-centric tools to machine-facing governance layers. DataHub actually has something called MCP server that's specifically designed for AI systems to understand data context automatically.
Wait, so instead of a data scientist manually checking if a data set is appropriate for training, the AI system could figure that out itself?
Exactly! Imagine your AI model automatically understanding data lineage, quality scores, bias indicators, and compliance constraints before using any dataset. That's the future these platforms are building toward.
That's actually pretty cool. But let's get practical. If someone listening right now needs to make this decision, what's your framework for choosing?
Start with 3 questions. First, what's your technical ecosystem? If you're cloud native and modern, focus on OpenMetadata or DataHub. If you're Hadoop heavy, Atlas makes sense. Second, what's your team's capability? DataHub requires significant expertise. OpenMetadata and Amundsen are more approachable. Third, what's your primary use case? Discovery-focused organizations can start with Amundsen. Comprehensive governance needs point to OpenMetadata or DataHub.
That's actually a logical approach. But I have to ask, what's your personal favorite? And don't give me a diplomatic "it depends" answer.
For most modern organizations, I lean toward open metadata. It strikes the best balance between comprehensive features and operational simplicity. DataHub is impressive if you need its advanced capabilities, but the complexity tax is real. Atlas is fantastic within its domain, and Amundsen is great for getting started quickly.
Interesting. And what about implementation? I'm guessing you can't just download these and expect magic to happen.
Definitely not. The blog post outlines a 4-phase approach: assessment and planning, pilot implementation, scale deployment, and optimization. The key is starting small, pick 2-3 critical data sources, implement core features, and prove value before expanding.
That makes sense. Start small, prove it works, then scale. Classic implementation strategy. But what are the biggest gotchas people should watch out for?
3 main ones: underestimating the cultural change required. Governance isn't just technology, it's getting people to actually use these tools. Second, trying to boil the ocean, starting too big and getting overwhelmed. Third, not planning for metadata quality. These tools are only as good as the metadata you feed them.
Those all sound like lessons learned the hard way. Any success stories that might give people hope?
Absolutely. The most successful implementations I've seen start with a clear business problem, like we waste too much time finding reliable customer data, and then show concrete value quickly. When people see they can find data sets in minutes instead of days, adoption follows naturally.
All right, let's wrap this up with the key takeaways. Mo, if someone could only remember 3 things from our conversation, what should they be?
First, choose based on your technical context and team capabilities, not just features. Second, start small with a focused pilot to prove value before scaling. Third, remember that governance is as much about culture and adoption as it is about technology.
And my takeaway is that there's no one-size-fits-all solution, but there's probably a good fit for every organization if you're honest about your needs and constraints. The key is matching the tool to your reality, not your aspirations.
Exactly, and for folks who want to dive deeper, the blog post has interactive comparison tools that let you score these frameworks against your specific requirements, plus all the technical implementation details we couldn't cover in our conversation.
Speaking of technical details, what's the one thing that would make someone want to check out the full blog post right now?
The total cost of ownership calculator. It breaks down not just licensing costs, which are zero, but infrastructure, personnel, training, and support costs for each platform. It's eye-opening how different these hidden costs can be.
That sounds incredibly useful for anyone who has to justify this decision to executives. For all those details, head over to thedataguy.pro and search for Open Source Data Governance Frameworks, or just click the link in our show notes. And hey, if this helped you navigate the governance maze, leave us a review and let us know which framework you're considering.
Thanks for joining us on another deep dive into the data world.
We release new episodes every Wednesday, so subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, may your metadata be accurate and your lineage be clear.
And remember, good governance today means better AI tomorrow.
This has been the Data Guy Show. I'm Naz.
And I'm Mo. Catch you next week.